pinned my video, so now you can. All right, so today's is a workshop about pranayama. Please sit down in a comfortable sitting position. So like we do for every pranayama or meditation session, we sit cross-legged on the floor. We can also sit in a chair. That's also perfectly fine. If you're sitting in a chair, your feet should be parallel and flat on the floor. Now for sitting, you can sit in any comfortable position like crossing of legs or Siddhasana, where one foot goes in between the thigh and the calf of the other leg and the top heel is turned upwards. This is Siddhasana. Some of you may want to try this. You can try this. So these two I find the most comfortable, Siddhasana or Sukhasana. The other options are Ardha Padmasana, Padmasana or Vajrasana. So these are the sitting postures for pranayama. And the hand mudras, we just run over them. Each of the fingers represents an element. Hi, Bhuvana. So each of the fingers represents an element. The thumb represents the Agni. Index finger is Vayu. Middle finger is Akash. Ring finger is Prithvi. And the little finger represents water or Varun. So in pranayama, we have various hand mudras that we can adapt or adopt rather. So today we'll be sitting with this simple mudra, which is a thumb and index to start with, and palms down on the knees. This is called Dhyana Mudra. So for the first 10 minutes of the session, we'll be doing this mudra, and then we'll change to the other fingers, and so that we can learn at least these simple mudras. Of course, we have other mudras where more fingers are involved, like there are some in which the middle finger and ring finger touch the thumb, or the index and middle touch the thumb, or the last two touch the thumb. But we're not doing those today. Today we just keep it very, very simple and basic. So now please bring your hands together. And we're starting with the opening mantras, which is also called the Udgeeth. So this is nothing but chanting of Om. If you do not wish to chant Om, you're most welcome to chant Amen or Amin. So we'll be inhaling first, and then for the duration of the exhalation, we'll be chanting A, U and Ma in sequence. So it'll be like this, for as long as you can stretch it. So we do this 3 times. Let's start, please. Palms together, one deep inhalation. Repeat. So this is Udgeeth. This is a pranayama as well, and it's very good for improving your lung capacity. Also improves your concentration and focus, the ekagrata that we all need in life. We get it from doing the Udgeeth. It brings our attention to the present moment and allows us to leave the external world as external, and we look within at the breath. Observing the breath is one of the most important things that we can do to begin any practice with. So Udgeeth is a very nice start. Now a little bit about the respiratory system. So pranayama targets the respiratory system, and I'd like to talk about it. So the windpipe in the throat branches out into the bronchi, and the bronchi lead to the respective lungs. The right one goes to the right and the left goes to the left lung. And these in turn branch out into several bronchioli and then further on into alveoli and air sacs. Now the length of the air sacs, if they were all opened up, they would measure about 300 square yards. That's a lot of space that we have within our lungs. And we must keep these air sacs energized and healthy, and that's the whole objective of pranayama. Now, I would compare pranayama to an action such as running in terms of improving the oxygen intaking ability of the lungs. So, the reason that happens is when we inhale in a normal way, there's an exchange between the air in the lungs and the air sacs of the lungs. There's an exchange of oxygen between the air that is inhaled in and the blood cells that are surrounding it. So this exchange can be increased tremendously just by breathing in deeply, because a normal breathing pattern helps us to breathe about 500 ml of air. But when we're doing deep breathing with Bhastrika or Ujjai or even Kapalabhati, we increase the intake of air to about 5,000 to 8,000 ml at that time. So that's a tremendous improvement in the quantum of air that's going in, and therefore the exchange becomes much speedier, and the energy that's generated from that exchange is what helps us. So now, when more energy is generated, obviously something is in the body is being burnt, right? So it's some of the cells, the fat cells that are being burnt, and for energy to be generated, so the oxygen molecule attaches with adenosine diphosphate and it becomes a triphosphate, and that's the extra E is the energy element that comes in. So that's the scientific explanation. Now a little bit more about the lungs per se. So the lungs are inside the ribs. The ribs are attached from the spine, from the thoracic vertebrae of the spine. There are about 12 of them. Each of them branches out into a rib that comes to the front and attaches to the sternum. Now, 6 of the ribs are not attached. Those are floating ribs. So these ribs work like calipers. So when we inhale, they help us to expand the chest much more because they're not attached to the front. So if you notice here below the sternum, we have this gap which is just cartilage. And to this cartilage, we have the diaphragm that's attached. So to the front of the cartilage, the diaphragm is attached, and it goes into the back and attaches to the vertebrae at the back. So the diaphragm is a dome-shaped structure, and it's dividing the abdomen into 2 portions. One is the upper portion is the chest, and the lower portion is the abdomen where we have the organs. So on the right side, we have the liver, and on the left side, so there's the liver and gallbladder and all that on the right. On the left, we have the stomach and the spleen. So that's your left. So right now, I'm not showing the right and left. I'm not mirroring you. So I'm just explaining. So we have the stomach and the spleen. Now the stomach tends to expand and contract with the diaphragm very well. But the liver is made of much harder tissues. And so the liver is like an impediment for the diaphragm to move freely. So the liver will push onto the diaphragm as the diaphragm is rising up, and therefore the curvature of the dome of the diaphragm on the right side, on your right, will be a little higher than that on the left. That's because the liver is very stubborn, and as I said, it pushes much harder onto the diaphragm. And in terms of the size of the lungs, the left lung is a little smaller than the right lung because we have the heart on the tilted to the left side. So that's the basic anatomy for you to understand. There are lots of muscles. So even from the neck attaching to the collarbone, going below the collarbone to the throat, we have a lot of muscles because this part of the cavity is basically open. The bones are stopping at the ribs, and at the back we have the cervical spine leading to the tapering into the neck. So this part of the upper chest is covered by muscles, and we also have muscles in the back. We have the sternocleidomastoid at the back, the scalenus in the back of the neck. Then we have the trapezium. Then we have the latissimus dorsi on the sides, and then we have so many other smaller muscles and the longer muscles of the back, as well as the front muscles which support breathing. So there's so much that happens with breathing. So I would say pranayama is as important as any other form of exercise such as running or yoga. We should all pay more emphasis to pranayama as we age and as time goes by, and when we're looking at health more seriously now than ever before. So that's the little bit of explanation that I wanted to do. So the first pranayama we are starting with today is Bhastrika. Bhastrika is the bellows breath, and usually it's done faster, but today we are learning how to do it slower. So the breathing in rate will be about 2 seconds. So let's breathe in slowly and deeply for 2 seconds. So the time it takes you to cover 1 second is the time that you take to say Mississippi 1, that's 1 second. Mississippi 2 is 2 seconds. Okay, so let's start slowly. Try to breathe in for 2 seconds and then immediately breathe out for a duration of 2 seconds. Let's all try this, please. Now let's see if we can make this a little more slower. So 2.5 seconds for the inhalation and 2.5 seconds for the exhalation. Please breathe in. Once more. Great. So now if you were just to practice by yourself, you can start with this Bhastrika by breathing in very deep and breathing out also very long. And there's also a faster version of doing Bhastrika that goes like this. So there's equal emphasis to the inhalation and the exhalation in Bhastrika. So there's also hand movement that's associated with Bhastrika. Let's try that with the faster version of Bhastrika. Please breathe in with me. We stop at 10 and release. Eyes closed. Let your body absorb the benefits of Bhastrika. Bhastrika improves your lung capacity and it prevents you from getting any lifestyle diseases. It's also good for hypertension and diabetes if it is done slowly. So the faster version would be done by people who have no ailments and who want to just do Bhastrika a little faster. And the slow version is ideal for most people, especially those who suffer from lifestyle diseases. Now the next pranayama we go for will be Kapalabhati, and we are going to be changing the hand mudra for that. So please touch your middle finger to the thumb like this. Now Kapalabhati requires you to do active exhalation. Inhalation will be passive and you'll be elevating your chest. There'll be more space between the ribs and the abdomen. So it'll be easier to flap your stomach in and out at the exhalation. Every time you exhale, you'll be pulling your abdomen inwards. Let's try this. So the rate of Kapalabhati, the ideal rate would be 1 movement of the abdomen or exhalation in 1 second. So therefore in 60 seconds, that's in 1 minute, you will do about 60. And in 5 minutes, you'll do 300. So let's try this. We just do it for 1 minute and Please start with an inhalation. Elevate your chest. One deep inhalation and please begin. Last 15 for you all. And finish. So this is Kapalabhati. It improves your lung capacity and it's helpful for bronchitis, asthma and sinus. Now, Kapalabhati improves your metabolic rate. So it also improves the fat burning ability of the body. So metabolism improves your weight loss. But however, it should not be done very fast by people who suffer from heart ailment or hypertension or hernia, or if you've had surgery recently, or if you are pregnant. So those are the cases where Kapalabhati has to be done a little more slowly. And I would say do it even more slower than what we did today. So we did about 60 in a minute. You can do it even more slowly. In that case, you would do about 45 in a minute. So there's really no need to do Kapalabhati more than this for beginners. But for regular yoga practitioners, we do about 90 in a minute. And some people even go up to 120 in a minute, but that is a very unnecessary speed to go for Kapalabhati. So Kapalabhati improves your lipid profile, and the tests that you do, everything on your test report will come out perfect if you've been doing Kapalabhati for about 4 to 6 months. And that's each and every aspect of your body, whether it's your hemoglobin or if it's your cholesterol or even your hypertension, all those parameters will come down by doing Kapalabhati. So it's one of the most important practices in pranayama. We do not do Kapalabhati if you've had a meal, unless there's a gap of 3 to 4 hours between the meal and the activity. So now the next pranayama we'll be going for is Ujjai. So now we will continue with the same hand mudra for Ujjai. Ujjai is a victory breath and it's very good for the throat. So we have a gland here. So it affects the thyroid gland, and whether it's a case of hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, both are benefited by doing Ujjai. Also helps people who stammer or who have any issues with their voice. Sometimes the voice gets subdued as due to various situations, like it could be overexertion or just some throat infection or just age-related voice box issues. So Ujjai really helps with that. So in Ujjai, we breathe in by constricting the throat. So most of you are familiar, but still I must mention. So when you exhale out, you make the sound to form a mirror. The same sound you're required to make with your mouth closed at the inhalation. Let's try. There's this tiny organ called the epiglottis, which covers the windpipe when we are eating food. And that's the organ that's activated or triggered when we are constricting the throat. That leads to the thyroid gland getting activated also. And therefore, the metabolic rate improves. And the heat generated by the in-breath and the out-breath because of the constriction of the throat warms up the body. So the incoming and the outgoing breath is a little warmed up, and that's what helps to helps for weight loss. Now there is another way of doing Ujjai, which we'll be looking at today, so I must cover that as well. So in that way, you will be breathing in. Let's try. Breathe in and then you hold your breath. Hold. Now you'll be closing your right nostril with your thumb. So you can do the Nasika Mudra. Ring finger, little finger and thumb are open. With the thumb, you close your right nostril and exhale from the left. Let's try this again. Remove your hand. Inhale, making that sound. Hold your breath. Now close your right nostril with your thumb. Exhale from the left. This is also a way of doing Ujjai. And the other simpler version of Ujjai was what I mentioned, the constricted throat for the in-breath as well as the out-breath without any retention. Let's try 3 more of that. I'd like you all to try another 3 of the same and try to be aware of all the muscles in your body which are reacting to your deep breathing. Let's try this, please. Think of all the muscles your body is recruiting to help you breathe the Ujjai breath. Muscles in your neck and the back of your neck, your shoulders and your upper back, as well as the intercostal muscles. Now you can release. So some of the very great physical activities that we do, very intense, like running or jumping, those would involve so many muscles to stabilize the body as we are just doing today with this pranayama. So now let's close our eyes and assimilate the benefits of Ujjai, and also in your mind, revise the benefits and the method. Now, Ujjai is one pranayama which can be done after eating, because we're not involving the stomach muscles as we did in Bhastrika and Kapalabhati. Ujjai was concentrated on the throat. So Ujjai is one pranayama that you can definitely do after eating. So it also qualifies as a pranayama that you can do at night before sleeping. Now the next pranayama we will be doing is Anulom Vilom. And for Anulom Vilom, we are first going to change the mudra. So this Prithvi mudra now, ring finger to the thumb is how we'll be sitting. Now just to go over Anulom Vilom, we must also learn how to inhale from one nostril. So we'll be practicing first the Nasika mudra. Please bring your right hand up. Close all your fingers into the palm. And now open the ring finger and the little finger and the thumb. Close your right nostril with your thumb just below the bony part here at the septum. On the side of the nose you have a bone. Just below that you close it. Now any pranayama involving a single nostril always requires you to breathe. First inhale from the left. So we'll be inhaling from the left. Please inhale and exhale from the left itself. Please try it again. Inhale left, exhale left. Repeat. And now repeat this again. Please do this without any sound. This is one of the soundless activities that you need to do. Very subtle. So this is called Chandra Anulom Pranayama. So this is good for people who have high blood pressure and they want to reduce their blood pressure. They can do the left nostril breathing because it's a cooling breath. Now the opposite of this is the Surya Anulom Pranayama. For this, you'll be closing your left nostril with your little finger and the ring finger like this, once again at the bony part, and inhale from your right, exhale from the right. Let's try this. Inhale right, exhale right. Very softly. Once more for all of you. Inhale right, exhale right. Now this is a pranayama that's good for you if you have low blood pressure, or if you're feeling very cold, or if you have asthma. So this pranayama will definitely increase your body temperature and also leads to weight loss. Now the second in the series is the bhedana, Surya bhedana and Chandra bhedana. Once again, I want you to close your right nostril. Bhedana means to pierce, so you'll be inhaling from the left, exhaling from the right. That's all. Every inhalation will be from the left, exhalation right. Let's do 3 of these, please. Please close your right. Inhale left, close left, exhale right. Now close right, inhale left, close left, exhale right. Repeat once more. Inhale, close, exhale. And now we switch. Now please close your left nostril. Now we're doing the Surya bhedana. We'll be inhaling right, close, exhale left. Repeat. Inhale right, close, exhale left. Once more. Exhale left. So the benefits of this one are the same as the previous one. The Chandra is for cooling and the Surya is for heating. So we have the nadis. It also helps to purify the channels of energy in the body. So the left nostril is called the Ida, the left nadi, and the right one is called the Pingla. Now we're coming to Anulom Vilom. So once again, the same Nasika Mudra. Now we are doing the alternative nostril breathing called Anulom Vilom. It's a very popular breathing. It's got a whole lot of benefits. The first of which is to improve the lung capacity. Also balances the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. It's good for all breathing problems such as bronchitis, asthma, or sinus. And it also helps to reduce blood pressure. So whether you're a low BP or high BP, it sets it in order. It's a very good pranayama to do. So now you know the reason why, because it's involving both the nostrils. So you know the benefits of both, the cooling and the heating, right? So let's please close the right nostril. Start with the left, inhale. Now close left, open the right, exhale. Inhale right, close, open left, exhale. Inhale left, close, open right, exhale. Inhale, close, exhale. Once more. And release. So now the Anulom Vilom, which involves holding of the breath. So there's a version where we will not be practicing that today, but I just want to tell you about it. There's a version where we inhale left and we hold the breath. We close both the nostrils. Then we exhale right. And then we again close. We retain the breath outside of the body. Then we open the right, inhale. Again we close, retaining the breath inside. And finally we open left, exhale. So this becomes Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, which involves a holding pattern. But that is for advanced practitioners, and I would not recommend that you practice it unless you're, an advanced practitioner and you've practiced Anulom Vilom for a long time. Only then you would qualify to practice Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. And but the benefits of Anulom Vilom are a lot, and we've just gone over them, and they're far in excess of any other pranayama. So now we will be going further, and we are going for Bhramari Pranayama. So in Bhramari, we'll be inhaling from the nose, and then closing the mouth, and then exhaling from the nose, humming like a bumblebee. So let's try this. For now, you can sit in this mudra, Varun mudra for now. Little finger and thumb together, palms facing up. Please inhale. Close your mouth, exhale, making a humming sound. Repeat. Repeat. Deep inhalation, long exhalation. Bhramari is very good for insomnia and it de-stresses you. It's a very, very calming and soothing pranayama to do. It also qualifies as one of the pranayamas that you can do at night before sleeping. So therefore we have Ujjai, Anulom Vilom and Bhramari that we can do in the night. Now we will be adding a mudra to this. So please bring your hands towards your face and with your thumb you'll be closing this outer lobe in front of the ear. There's a small little curvature of the ear in the front. You press that into the ear, but not too much. Just lightly press it. You can please try this. As soon as you do that, you block out all the noises. So that's what the thumb will be doing, pressing into that. Now you can keep the index finger just below the eyebrows, the middle finger on the side of the nose, the ring finger on the upper lip, and the little fingers below the lips. So now keep your hands, place your hands very lightly on your face like this. Inhale freely. Press your hands and exhale like a bee. Relax your hands. Inhale so that your nose can freely breathe. Exhale, placing the hands in position. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. Exhale. Now this is a Sanmukhi mudra and it's a special mudra for Bhramari Pranayama. Now I'd like to mention that when we sit for Pranayama or meditation, if you feel uncomfortable in one sitting posture, you're most welcome to go into the next sitting posture without having to disturb your state of mind. So you gently just change the leg position and go into the next mudra, sitting mudra. Now we will be continuing with this Varun mudra for now. And we are now discussing two pranayamas that we can do with using the mouth. All other pranayamas we have discussed so far were only involving the nose for inhalation. Now there are two pranayamas that we breathe in from the mouth. The first one is Shitali. It's a cooling pranayama. It requires you to roll your tongue inwards. So from the outside of the tongue, roll it inwards like a tube. And you inhale from your mouth like this. Then you hold your breath and exhale from your nose. Repeat. Please roll your tongue. Inhale. Close mouth. Exhale from the nose. Repeat. Once more. Shitali is a cooling pranayama. It immediately brings your body temperature down. It's good for hot days. It's good after intense physical workouts. And it also is good to bring the blood pressure down. But I would not advise to do too much of Shitali just because you know that it's good to bring the blood pressure down. So there are medicine to help you. And in no situation does medicine replace or does pranayama replace medication, but we can slowly add these practices and we can reduce the dosage of the medicines after the required tests. Alright, so the next pranayama we are going to learn is Sheetkari where we clench the teeth, join the front rows of upper teeth and lower teeth together. The mouth remains, lips remain open, and you breathe in. Close your mouth, exhale from the nose. Repeat again, join the teeth please and breathe in. Exhale from the nose. Don't worry, the air is going in from the gaps between the teeth. Please breathe in again. And once more. Now this is also cooling pranayama. The benefits are the same as Shitali, but this in addition is good for your gums and your teeth. Now we'll close the eyes for a few minutes. Allow your body to absorb the benefits of the series of pranayama that you did today. And bring your awareness back. Next, we'll be practicing Bahaya Pranayama. This is a very important pranayama as well. Requires you to breathe in and then breathe out. And you leave your breath outside of the body, and then you'll be engaging 3 bandhas. The first just listen. You will be engaging the Jalandhara bandha, where you're required to bring your, please keep breathing normally. So your chin will come to the chest. This is Jalandhara bandha. The second bandha is the pulling of the abdomen inwards. This is called Uddiyana bandha. The third bandha is the Mula bandha, where you pull the lower part of the body. So the belly button down portion, you pull it upwards. So that's the Mula bandha. Now these 3 bandhas will be engaged after you've breathed out. This is the Bahaya Pranayama, and it's very good for all the organs in the lower abdomen. So the reproductive organs, also the kidneys, also helps with digestion and also with diabetes. So it's a very good pranayama for all the organs associated with the abdomen. Let's please try this. Breathe in, breathe out. Once again, let's get ready. Breathe in, breathe out. Now drop your chin gently towards your neck. Pull your abdomen in. Pull the lower part of the body upwards from the belly button down. So the perineum area, you're pulling it up. Now release the neck when you want to breathe in. Exhale. Once again, chin to the neck, abdomen pulled in, Mula bandha in place. Whenever you want to breathe in, please release your neck. Breathe in. Try this once more, all of you.